Hey everybody, it's Cold Stare, and this is the Fire Mage Mage Tower Guide. Here's a quick look at the transmog set you earned for completing the Impossible Foe Challenge, the Regalia of the Arcane Tempest. And completing all 7 of the Mage Tower challenges will earn you a Tour of Towers achievement and the Soaring Spell Tome mount. If you've never been to the Mage Tower before, you're going to head to the Legion version of Dalaran, and from there you're going to head south to Deliverance Point on the Broken Shore. There you're going to find an NPC named War Counselor Victoria, and she'll port you into the encounter once you're ready to begin it. Here's a quick look at the consumables I used in this encounter. Now, on another Mage Tower video the other day, I got a pretty spicy comment accusing me of spreading bad information because I wasn't suggesting you use older min-max consumables from other expansions. Look, there's more than one way to do the Mage Tower. If you want to go down that road and do that, go for it, but those worked really well for me. Here's the talent build I used. It was single target, worked really well. We'll talk more about that later in the video. Quick look at the gear I had on. Pretty good gear. I have the poison ring from Queen and some good trinkets, but don't think you need really great gear to do this. I promise you don't. In fact, this clip I'm showing you that I completed this challenge in almost entirely unenchanted heirloom gear. See that? Don't feel like you have to have amazing gear to come do this. You could come in here in PvP gear and be just fine. If there's one thing I would want you guys to take away from my Mage Tower videos is that you don't need flavor of the month trinkets and enchants, that sort of thing. Just learn the mechanics and you'll be fine, I promise you. So Agatha in an Impossible Foe challenge, she is our kill target. Most of her moves are pretty standard and avoid swirlies on the ground and that sort of thing. But she will occasionally channel Dark Fury here. We have to interrupt that. And the only way we can interrupt it is getting through that bubble around her, and then we can use Counter Spell. This is her sort of soft enrage timer. Agatha's Vengeance, a stacking damage buff she'll get the more imps we kill. She is the imp mother, so she's going to throw an array of imps at us. These are smoldering imps, and they're not too bad. They just throw some fireballs at us. They go down pretty quick. Now the fuming imp, you'll see the play space here is very narrow, and these fuming imps, when they die, will leave a desecrated area on the ground that slows us, and that can really cause problems later on in the fight. So either kill them before they do that, or steer them off to the side. Imp servants will always be priority targets, as they are going to come up and heal Agatha and undo all your hard work. So the moment you see them, stop everything you're doing and kill them. She'll also occasionally summon these Umbral imps throughout the encounter, and they're also very high priority targets, as they're going to put an immunity shield on Agatha. So as soon as you see them, be sure to bring them down. Once she hits around 50% health, that's going to bring us into phase 2, and we're going to have to deal with an environmental mechanic called Fellfire Boulders. And these boulders are going to roll towards us from one end of the corridor and the other, so throughout the whole rest of the fight, you're going to need to keep your eye on those. They will damage and stun you. Alright, well let's take a look at the encounter from start to end now. So if you're wondering why I'm a tree in this clip, this is probably the only old consumable I recommend you get in any Mage Tower. That's the Sylvan Elixir, and it can only be used in this particular challenge, an Impossible Foe. That's because it was considered an outdoor encounter. And the Sylvan Elixir was from Legion, and if you used it only while you were outdoors, it would turn you into a tree and then give you a 1 hour plus 10% stat increase buff. So that's what that is. If you want to go get it, it is helpful. Not a deal breaker if you can't get your hands on any. So anyway, Agatha, she is our kill target. Like I said, we're going to begin the encounter using our offensive potion, time warp, everything we've got. The faster we burn her down, the better. Throughout the whole encounter, we're going to be listening to, if you use the add-on DBM, it will announce Big Ad, and that's what we need to keep an eye behind us. And you're going to see these 2 little imp servants come running down the corridor. See those? We want to either Frost Nova those before they reach her. If they do reach her, go ahead and use Dragon Breath, because at all costs we want to interrupt that channeling heal they're going to do on her. So I mentioned earlier that I came in here on a single target build, and that's because Fire just has amazing single target damage. And just enough splash damage from the Phoenix Flames, the AoE from the Meteor and Flame Strike, I think this build was just absolutely perfect for this. I just had to pick up Dragon's Breath to disorient the Imp Servants when they tried to heal, and that was it. Overall worked really well. I'll put a string in the description box below if you want to use it. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, after the War Within, whatever, and the talents have changed a bunch, just use whatever you think works best. Go to Wowhead, Icy Veins, build your own, whatever. Now, you see how these Umbral Imps spawned right while the Imp Servants were coming? That can easily overwhelm you. Don't be afraid to give yourself some breathing room and just snare the Imp Servants behind you, bring down the Umbral Imps, and then turn your attention to the Imp Servants. So we've now entered into phase 2. This is where she's going to summon those Felfire boulders we were talking about earlier, and this is probably one of the easiest ways to die in the encounter. If those, they're going to take like 3/4 of your health and stun you, and you're going to really feel like you're backpedaling the whole way after that. So really try and avoid them, especially when she teleports and you're chasing after her and they're now coming from behind you. It's very easy to kind of forget about them for a moment, and they will seriously chunk your health. Do not forget about those. When all the Umbral Imps come out and she's doing Dark Fury and there's a lot of damage going out, that's also a good time to use Alter Time to really help negate some of that incoming damage. So we're nearly done with the encounter. It goes by really fast. Just to review everything you need to remember in here. So avoid the swirlies on the ground. If you're ever just standing there and wondering what's hurting me, that's probably it. The swirlies are meant to just keep you moving. Avoid the Felfire boulders, of course. Prioritize the Imps when they come out. During Dark Fury, get through the shell and counter spell. And here it is, down goes Agatha. Overall, really fun fight, not too bad. My big tip to you would be something that's very easy to mess up when you first start this is your management of the Fuming Imps, specifically, because they leave, like I said, that pool on the ground that slows you and it can really litter the play space. If you're not going to be able to kill them, you have to bait them off to the side. That's super important. So here's a look at the damage if you want to check that out. I think I was just showing you here, like, don't think the poison ring trivialized this at all. It really did pretty negligible damage there. So like I said, you don't need incredible gear to come in here and do this. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the box below, and I will see you in Azeroth.
Protect me, my children. I will give you the power. No! What have you done? I'll make you suffer. No! What have you done? I'll make you suffer.
4, 3, 2, 1. Reaction. Infinite.